Jess T. Jess T. Right here, right now on countryradio.uk.
Crazy, your Paris pretty, you're everything I need. You're my kind of city.
This is Jess T on countryradio.uk, and I'm chatting to Danny McMahon. How are you, Danny?
I'm good, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How's lockdown treating you?
Yeah, as good as it can be, I guess. Sort of, I'm writing as many songs as possible, doing as many co-writes as I can. Sort of, obviously, we've just been promoting the new single, and that went well. So yeah, that's about as far as we can go at the moment. Sort of missing the touring, but as I say, making the most out of the situation for sure.
Well, I'd say you went more. It did more than just went well. You just hit number one. That was yesterday. You
Indeed.
hit number one. Congratulations. My Kind of City is an absolutely wonderful song. I'm playing it this week. I'm proud to play it, and well done you. You must be over the moon.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're absolutely delighted. As I say, we put a lot of work into it, so I'm just really glad that it's had the response that we hoped for, which is great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not your first number one. It's not your first number one. You've had a number one before, haven't you?
Yeah, so it's good to have the second one. When it happened the first time, I was kind of like, okay, we've done that now. That's when we can tick off the list. I'm really happy with that. So yeah, to follow it up a second time is incredible.
It is absolutely brilliant. So just to get a little bit about you, Danny, you're from Bristol.
Yeah, that's right.
But you have Irish descent. I've had a little bit of a read up on the type of influences you have, and I'm not going to delve too much into it because I'm sure you've spoken about it lots before. But what spurs you on? What are you listening to right now, actually, Danny? What's giving you a number one hit? Where's the inspiration?
I mean, for me, I absolutely the thing that's got me through lockdown is the new Sam Hunt album. I know some people love him, some people loathe him, but I just love everything that he's about as an artist. It's sort of it's the idea of like pushing boundaries. I love the way that he sort of like tried to sort of recontextualize a lot of older styles of sort of instrumentation and songwriting and put them into a sort of into a newer format with sort of like program beats and all that kind of thing. So for me as a producer as well, that's sort of something that I really sort of gravitate to. Is Keith Urban's the same thing. He does the same thing every record. He kind of pushes boundaries, tries new and different things. That in with really quality songwriting is what always kind of wins for me at the end of the day. So yeah, it's those kind of guys, those country pop guys, Dan and Shay, Keith Urban, Sam Hunt, Rascal Flatts. That's the kind of where I sit.
Rascal Flatts, you're talking my language. Them's my boys. But you're absolutely right. And talking on the producing, I know that your company's Puzzle Maker, is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And so also you've done your masters, and you've done a degree and a master's in songwriting and in business.
That's right.
So how do you incorporate that into your own songwriting and music? Because I know that you work with so many artists too.
Yeah, that's an amazing question, actually. As far as that kind of stuff is concerned, obviously, like it's sort of, you do end up applying the things that you apply with other artists into your own stuff. Definitely, I think it's the way that, for me, it's the way that sort of music and culture sort of like blend into one. Sort of one doesn't kind of work without the other. And that's sort of where I approach that quite in detail with my artists. But then obviously when I'm writing my own songs, that's always there as well. So sort of like the way that that a certain audience, and very much the UK country audience, sort of is like it's a very unique thing in this day and age, because people actually do still go out to shows and meet each other, and like being a country fan in the UK is almost like an identity and a way of life. It's almost like its little subculture, if that makes sense.
100%. It certainly is. It's a family. We have a really special little family going on. It's really lovely, and it's a community. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I kind of really gravitate towards when I'm writing for myself, is sort of obviously I write for myself and what I love and what I like as well, but I do always have in the back of my mind how people are going to relate to it, because at the end of the day, that's why I write songs, is to sort of like create and stimulate that sort of human emotion, that human response, and share that with someone. I find that a lot easier than speaking, if that makes sense. So
It does make sense. It does make sense. And actually, you've had some real great success with the artists and the music that you have been producing with them. They're all doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Kelsey, Louisa, they're doing fantastic.
Yeah, no, as I say, I went out, and my first year was as being an artist was one, to sort of understand the scene, but also to do the groundwork for this kind of idea that I had for Puzzle Maker, in terms of, going out and finding the right people to talk to, and, doing the networking. By the time it then came around to having my artists ready at Puzzle Maker, sort of like, okay, this is what works and this is what this doesn't, and then by that point, obviously, we can kind of like, formulate a business model that really, really works for UK country artists. And that's kind of the idea, as you say. So we've got, Kelsey's doing great at the moment. Bob and Charlotte have both had #1 records. Like,
Yep.
it's that's kind of what we're aiming and what we're working towards. Finding a thing that really works for the niche that we're working in.
It certainly seems to be working, and I know that you work with Scarlet River Management as well, and along hand in hand with them, you are scoping some fantastic artists, and so you're always on the lookout. Have you got any new fresh blood ready for us?
We do indeed. Yeah, we got a couple of brand spanking new artists. That's kind of the thing that we've really been focusing on in this year, finding guys who are like really new, really fresh, and developing like them from scratch, so we can sort of like follow their journey all the way through. So yeah, there's a couple of guys that we're working with at the moment who I'm really, really excited to show you. And as I say, we'll be able to sort of push those out to the world it's usually about a 6-month period. Obviously, we've not been able to be at the studio for the last few weeks, so I think we're going to be starting up again in the next couple of weeks, which is great.
Oh, absolutely.
Sort of, fingers crossed, in about 6 months' time, you're going to be seeing some more exciting releases from us.
That's absolutely brilliant. And you were doing a tour, so you got in there before lockdown. I saw that you were traveling. You were performing in some amazing places with some amazing artists.
Yeah, so we managed to, as I say, managed to get a chunk of the tour in right at the start of the year, which was, lucky looking at the situation now. But yeah, we managed to get to, we played the country music meet in Berlin, which was amazing with the band. And then we were able to get out to the USA and do some shows over there. So we did the Millennium Music Conference, which was amazing. Met some amazing industry guys and some great new bands over there as well. And then we played, sort of 3 or 4 shows there. And then we went and did some shows in New York, and then came back and sort of haven't played a show since, really. So.
No, I know, and it's difficult, but this has been a really, really good time for artists, and certainly, actually, unprecedentedly, a great time for putting out music, because people are listening. So, and they're there and they're waiting for the music. So, have you found that this has been a productive time?
Absolutely, massively so. So for myself and for my other artists, like, as I say, into doing I've done a lot of writing, being able to do a lot of things like, redoing your website and making sure that your branding's hot and getting new logos and, lyric videos and all that kind of thing. So actually, in terms of structuring a release, it's a really, really good time. I've been working really hard on my one, as I say. We've had Bob, we've had Charlotte, we got Kelsey's record coming out next week. So, I've definitely seen like Kelsey's stuff like grow from like so quickly over this period of time, because you'll be doing a lot of live streams and there's been a lot of engagement there. And I try and watch a lot of my artists' live streams and see how people are picking up and engaging with their stuff. As I say, Bob didn't have a record out at the start of this period of time, and he's already been played on Bob Harris. So it's like
exactly.
It's really...
I have noticed it's given people a massive platform. I've discovered so many amazing artists just by watching live streams. So it's actually been, it's lovely that there's been some great positivity to come out of it, no doubt about it. And so your plans are to travel once we can. What are your future plans, Danny?
In terms of when we can tour again, I mean, we're still booked in for some festivals towards the end of festival season. Whether they go ahead or not, I don't know. But the plan is definitely to get back out to the States again. We've got some shows booked in for there as and when. We were supposed to be going it over the summer. Obviously, that's not going to happen anymore. But we're going to be looking towards sort of like back end of this year, start of next year. Fingers crossed, we're going and doing some more shows over there. That's really big and high on the agenda, because this record sort of picked up a lot more in Nashville than it has in the past. Obviously, writing with a writer and having been there, and we've established a lot more contacts. So fingers crossed we'll be able to get out there a lot more and establish, that kind of relationship a little bit more. That'll be great. And then, as I say, touring's always a big one. And then fingers crossed we can get another. I'm aiming for at least another single before the end of the year, hopefully 2, if time allows.
Sure.
That's kind of the idea. That I can't quite like the idea of when you're an independent artist, and then when you're working with management, it's kind of like you've kind of got some pushing power, so it kind of makes it easier to sort of really focus on that one song and do it really well. think. And I think rather than sort of like trying to go for a fully fledged album, I think it makes a lot more sense to pick a song that you really believe in and then just really focus on that and hit it hard. And I think that sort of like, you know, as an independent artist, sort of broadens your reach a little bit better. So that's
It does.
go for as a sort of as the idea.
Of course it does. Well, I mean, I saw you win your award last year. In fact, you won 3.
Yeah.
You won the 3 awards at the UK Country Music Awards in September. So that was Best UK Country Artist of the Year. Let me remember it right. Best Male, Best UK Male, and Best Song.
Yeah, that was
right.
it. That was
yes.
it. Crushed it.
Yeah, so that was a good night. That was a great night. And you did well. You know, any plans to win some more, get nominated this year? Have you got any nominations or anything coming up?
Yeah, fingers crossed. We got a few nominations in a few categories. The Fair Play Country, I think I'm nominated for 2. So that's in Holland at the start of November, I think.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm nominated for a couple there, and yeah, fingers crossed we can get nominated for some more UK country ones this year. I think there's a few others floating around. Oh, we had the ISSA awards as well.
You did. That's right. That's the ones I was getting to next. Is that yes, you had you're a finalist. Am I right?
In six categories, I think. I think we were
wow.
7 and then got shortlisted for 6. So that's pretty good. Quite happy with that.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. So, Danny, just questions about you, really. You know, what are you missing? What are you missing right now, personally? We're all missing the gigs and we're all missing the music.
Yeah.
But what's getting to you? What you looking forward to getting back to?
I miss hanging out with my band. That's what I miss more than anything. Like, you know, as I say, going and touring the world with those guys, it's like you create like such a strong bond, and you know you're sort of working towards the same thing. And we have so much fun when we go out and, you know, play all over the place. And I love traveling as well. So it's kind of like my 2 favorite things is, you know, my friends and traveling all in one thing, really. So that's the thing that I miss more than anything. Just being able to go to places, meet new people, you know, and do all that with my band. That's what I'm missing more than anything.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I mean, Danny, can I ask you, would you mind playing me a little something that I could put out, perhaps?
Yeah, of course. What would you like?
That'd be awesome. Well, it'd be lovely to hear maybe an acoustic. Listen to me, I'm getting choosy, but an acoustic version of My Kind of City, or a little snippet, because it's gone up there. It's number 1.
Let's do it. There's a big old world out there. This ain't a million towns from north to south, but none of them compare to you. There's a big old sky above. This ain't a million lights lighting up the night, but none of them shine bright as you. Spent a lot of time trying to find something I didn't need, 'cause I got the best of every single city sitting right here with me. You're white like you wore things on a Friday, got me buzzing like NYC down on Broadway, smooth as a small town Tennessee whiskey neat. You got me high like the sun off the coast of Morocco, cool as the corns down in Monte Carlo, strong as a coffee on a quiet village street. You drive me London crazy, your Paris pretty, you're everything I need, you're my kind of city. There's people everywhere with different styles and all kinds of smiles, but none of them compare to you. 'Cause you bring the best of every single city right home to me. You're wild like you wore things on a Friday, got me buzzing like NYC down on Broadway, smooth as a small town Tennessee whiskey neat. You got me high like the sun off the coast of Morocco, cool as the corns down in Monte Carlo, strong as a coffee on a quiet village street. You drive me London crazy, your Paris pretty, you're everything I need, You're my kind of city. I spent a lot of time trying to find something I didn't need. 'Cause you bring the best of every single city right home to me. You walk like New Orleans on a Friday, got me buzzing like NYC down on Broadway. Smooth as a small town Tennessee whiskey. You got me high like the sun out the cold summer ride home. Cool as a chorus down in Monte Carlo. Strong as a coffee on a quiet Venice street. You drive me London crazy. Your Paris pretty. You're everything I need. You're my kind of city.
Oh, Danny, I had to stop myself from singing along to get involved. That's absolutely brilliant. That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Lovely to see you. And, keep going. Keep going. And congratulations again. Such a wonderful achievement.
Thank you so much.
No problem, buddy. We'll speak to you soon.
Take care.
Hi, guys. It's Jess T on countryradio.uk. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and know that there will be plenty more music videos, live exclusives and performances from country music artists across the UK and beyond.